Racing action on Tim's Corner Motorsports is presented by Pache Motors, the largest Ram truck dealer in Atlantic Canada. Browse their inventory online at pachemotors.com. Tranquility. Help for anxiety is only a click away. Learn more by visiting tranquility.app. Finish Line Vinyl Design, the official decal supplier of Tim's Corner Motorsports. Like them on Facebook at facebook.com/finishline vinyl design. And by CB Warren's Auto Care.
And welcome. It's Sunday here at South Boston Speedway. It's the Mid-Season Classic Qualifier 100, all part of the TCM Special Events this Sunday, January 24th, 2021. I'm Mike James from Eastbound International Speedway, and I got my good friend Paul Showtime Strickland in here, calling all the way from the Connecticut. Paul, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Getting ready to do 100 laps here at South Boston Speedway in Halifax County, Virginia. They haven't actually raced here in real life since this whole pandemic started up, so pretty cool to see the racetrack living on here in the iRACING service. This race here tonight, everybody that's been anybody that qualifies for this race is essentially they've got 25 starts or less in the Tim's Corner Motorsports Special Events. Qualifying for the big show here tomorrow night, and that's going to be the Mid-Season Classic, and that's going to be all of the drivers that have started over 25 races here with the Tim's Corner Motorsports. Heat race number 1 getting ready to kick off. There you see Brett Suggs down at the bottom with a beautiful paint scheme, painted that up himself in the 33. He's going to start on the pole. Corey Hallett going to start on the outside.
On the inside of row number 2, the 122 machine of Brody Lewis. He's going to have Noah Healy in the 84 to the outside.
Behind them, starting in the 5th position, Quentin Carpenter and Terry Duguay in the number 14.
And a couple cars not registering right now on the screen. Ashton Tucker, Chris McKenna, and Ryan Twinham. But scratching to the rear, it will be the 18 car of Chris Walsh. Now, we've had qualifier just before we got into the heat races. Top 5 have moved on to the main 100-lap main event. These guys will be battling. We will be taking the top 4. We'll see 3 heats, and then we'll have a last chance qualifier. Suggs will have the hammer here as they pace him around. Lights are out on the iRacing pace truck here tonight, and the 33 looking sharp, like you said, Paul. This is going to be a wild night here on Sunday night.
Absolutely, and there's the green flag racing at South Boston. Brett Suggs with the whole shot. Great jump on the number 57 of Corey Hallett. Gets about 3-car length lead. Battle right now for third. The 122 has it. The 84 wants it.
84 on the outside on that restart, has not able to tuck in due to the 16 of Quentin Carpenter. Hugging the bottom end. Oh, there goes the 84 trying to get to the bottom. We are still green flag. He's going to have to pick it up here, but trying to get to the bottom here at South Boston has been difficult for the 84 as he is now scratched to the back. 2 laps completed. Your leader, the 33 machine of Brett Suggs out of North Carolina. He had a monster jump coming out of the hole shot.
Big wiggle there from the 122. Looks like he got into the 16, almost put him up into the wall. We keep going green. Everybody pointing in the right direction, but almost looked like the back end of the race car came around on him there, Mike.
Yeah, we're having a peek there just a moment there. Terry Duguay, here it is here. This is the transfer spot. Top 4 will be making to the big show, but Quentin Carpenter trying to protect that spot. Terry Duguay on the outside window looking in and applying lots of pressure right now on the 16. About a car length in the difference between the two, but the battle will continue as we count down the laps. We're close to halfway here. 6 laps completed. It is all Brett Suggs right now in the 33.
Brett Suggs with a commanding lead, about a second over Corey Hallett there in the 2nd position. Brody Lewis behind him as well, about another second back in the 4th place. Quentin Carpenter machine, just the same distance mount back as well. So these drivers trying to hold on to those top 4 transfer positions, moving themselves into the qualifier here tonight, trying to make it into the big show tomorrow night here on Vidane TV.
Big show all weekend long. Saturday night we had the street stocks at where were we at last night? I can't even remember.
I've got so much jet lag, brother, I couldn't even tell you where I was this morning.
Nashville, that's where we were.
Nashville, that's right. The Kenny and Dolly show. That's what we were doing last night.
Kenny and Dolly show. What a run Ryan Messer had and Ashton Tucker. They put on a show. Unfortunately, we're not seeing them right now. They were supposed to be in this heat race, but they have checked out, maybe due to service issues. Not quite sure, but they are not on the board right now. So if they do come back, they will be able to come into the last chance qualifier. But with 3 laps to go, it's all Brett Suggs right now into 33 as he counts him down. Huge gap right now. He's built up over 1.5 seconds on Corey Howlett. Looking in right now, it's not Terry Duguay that's looking in. It's Chris Walsh in the 18. He has now taken over that transfer spot, or not the transfer spot, but the outside looking in. Quentin Carpenter to 16 is the final transfer spot for the top 4. White Silk is in the sky for Brett Suggs. This one is going to be a no-brainer.
Final lap crossing the stripe. Brett Suggs going to get himself another victory here in the heat races here at Tim's Corner Motorsports. Corey Hallett going to finish second. Brody Lewis third. Quentin Carpenter in that final transfer spot. Chris Walsh, Terry Duguay, Brian Healy, Ashton Tucker, Chris McKenna, Ryan Twinham rounding out the top 10. No time to waste. Stacking them up for heat race number 2. Craig Kenny on the pole. Tony Stevens making his return to Tim's Corner Motorsports starting on the outside.
Yeah, pretty excited to see the 92 of Tony Stevens making his debut here for Pit Road TV. Making up row number 2, it's going to be Kenny McKenzie in the 641. He'll have Cadence Frizzell to the outside in the 196.
Timothy Green going to start the 802 machine in the 5th position. That's the 19 there on your screen. Good-looking NOS energy drink car. The 73 Mopar machine on the outside. Dave Horton's going to start 6th.
And Ryan Messer, Nick Pache not making the call right now, but completing the fields at the rear right now in 9th position, which will go up a row here if Nick Pache and Ryan Messer do not show. It'll be Chantel Pottle from Conception Bay North, Newfoundland, Labrador, and she's in the 5 machine. Scott Trouse will be on the outside in the 45. Some beautiful looking machines here tonight. The Klondike 196, I believe that's Cadence Frizzell. Nice looking paint schemes here tonight. You see the Pit Road TV, Tony Stevens representing the company that, long time announcer and put a lot of sweat and tears into that company.
For sure, and I've actually learned a lot personally from Tony Stevens doing the sim racing broadcast. He's been around for a very long time, so good to see him making his return here to the Tim's Corner Motorsports qualifying event, trying to get into tomorrow night's big show, the Mid-Season Classic. But lights are off on the pace car, and we're just waiting for these drivers to circle around. Looks like we got one more lap under caution. Now you can see the fans are full of stands. Stands are full of fans here in the iRacing world. We'll try that one more time.
We can't wait for COVID-19 to be over so we can get back to those full stands and back to track side, but lots of tracks opening up for the 2021 season. A lot of schedules are out there right now on the TCM website. Check them out if you're tuning in. We can't wait to see all you fans back at the raceway, and looking forward to some great racing here tonight. In the meantime, but the 90 gets out of the hole nice and clean, kind of gets Tony Stevens a little bit of sleep there, but he does cross over, takes over that position number 2, but tags the wall. Tony Stevens to the high side coming into turn 2 or turn 3, I believe it is, and but we are still under green. He does manage to peel himself off the wall and still maintain that position number 2.
Still green flag racing here. A little bit of scuff on the race car, but not that big a deal. Still under green here. We've got Kenny still leading up front. Tony Stevens in the 2nd place. Kenny McKenzie, Timothy Green, and Chantel Pottle moving herself up into the 5th position.
Yeah, Pottle is on the move, and you see the 45 coming almost half car on her right now, applying a lot of pressure behind that 5 machine as she tries to fend off. She wants that stay in that position, but she is going to let the 45 go, but she gives them a little scrub, a little aggressiveness from the 5 car as they go at it. But right now, it is Timothy Green. The 802 machine is in the transfer spot. Our leaders, Craig Kenny, has built up a little bit of a gappage on Tony Stevens after taking some damage off that wall in lap number 1. He's built up over a full second now on Tony Stevens. Looking at the gappage right now, Chantel Bottle's got a lot of ground to gain. She's got 1.3 seconds difference between the fourth position right now. Halfway there, Paul. This is going pretty quick. Lots of green flag action in the early parts of Sunday's evening race.
Picking up the laps and putting them right back down here on Vidane TV here for another Tim's Corner Motorsports special event, the Qualifier 100. Trying to get these drivers into tomorrow night's mid-season classic, and lots of great racing so far this evening. Been caution-free so far. A couple of quick little hiccups on the racetrack, but nothing too crazy. Craig still out front, a commanding lead, 1.3 seconds over Tony Stevens. Kenny McKenzie in that third position. Timothy Green holding on to that transfer spot in P4.
McKenzie's starting to have a bit of a run now, trying to catch up to the 92 of Tony Stevens. That gap has now slowly closed. But right now, Chantel Pottle is on a mission. She knows she got 3 to go here, and not a lot of time. But right now, she is within a second, just a little bit over a second. But she's got the 8:02 of Timothy Green in her sights. Can she make it up? 2 to go here. Time is not on her hand. Caution has been thrown. It is now. Whoo, baby. Reset. That's going to open the door for Chantel Pottle because she will be starting on the inside of row number 3. But we're going to take a replay here thanks to our friends from Raise Energy. And this time I don't have to call you back into the room because you're already here, Paul.
Yeah, it makes things just a little bit easier. But we'll pull up the Raise Energy drink instant replay. And I got to ask you, Mikey, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Would you do something like this? Lots of damage there on the 196. You see, gets out of shape, scrapes the wall up high, bounces off down low. And Pirouettes does a flips on a couple of different axes, and parks that thing down on pit road. He's all set for the evening. So Caden Frizzle all set.
It looked like it wasn't his first time hitting the wall, as there was significant amount of damage on that 196 as he tried to wheel that car around. But he'll get a reset, and we'll see him back in the LCQ. But one to watch right now is Chantel Pottle on the inside of row number 3. We've seen in heat race number 1, the 84 machine of Noah Healy had a difficult time dropping to the bottom here. So if Chantel Pottle times this perfectly, that inside row could be the big winner here. As we get them around here, lights are out on the pace truck, the official iRACING Chevrolet, as they bring them around here. Oh, lights are still on. My fault. My vision is a little bit poor from all the way up here in the tower, but we are still under caution as we pace around one more time.
Gives these drivers just a quick moment to check, make sure everything's plugged in and make sure everything is good to go, and kind of refocus just a little bit because we have 3 laps to go, 2 laps once we cross the line, and it gives these drivers an opportunity to really try and capitalize and finish in that top 4. And you can see Chantel Pottle moving her way up into the 5th position, matching her race car number, and she is going to be very aggressive here on this restart. I would be willing to bet to try and get into that 4th position, and maybe even better than that.
Will she kind of slack back a little bit to get a bit of a run here now? But the one to also watch is the 92 of Tony Stevens, as he is on that outside. Very difficult here now on these iRacing restarts. Lights are out. We're going to see the 90 machine come around here. He will have the hammer. It's going to be Craig Kenny here with a green-white checkered. And as Tony Stevens to the outside, keep an eye on that 5th position on the outside looking in, but she's got the advantage. Chantel Pottle going to try to make it stick here as they get set to go around 3 and 4. It's the 90 machine of Craig Kenny out of the hole shot. Look at that. Tony Stevens will get caught to the high side here as the 641 of Kenny McKenzie drops it down here, and they go toe-to-toe, door-to-door.
Toe-to-toe, door-to-door, 2 laps to go, crossing a stripe, white flag, white rag, white flag in the air. Craig Kenny back out front, still has a great lead. The battle right now for second. The 641 gets into the wall just a little bit. The 92 comes down low, gets around him, gets a little bit of a bump. He's going to get another shot taken at him at the 641. Does not get him. Give that position to Tony Stevens, and we'll pull up the finishing order here.
Look at that. Chantel Pottle makes a good run here, makes it stick. She's now in the main event, and our top 4 was Kenny McKenzie, Stevens, and Pottle. So the rest will go to the LCQ. Unbelievable. We were chasing that matchup between Tony Stevens and Kenny McKenzie, but we did not get a peek at the 5 machine, but she must have made a move there to get through. But we are getting set now for a final heat race. We've got 9 on the board right here, and Jonathan Pollard in the 19 machine will get the pole here, and he'll have Jordan Rushton to the outside in the 2.
Starting in row number 2, the number 93 machine of Justin Robichaud. Outside of him going to be Corey Reed in the 027.
And next up in row number 3, the 01 of Troy Burke, and he'll have the 72 of Todd Tufts. Looks like Conrad Murphy, Colin Matthews not getting the call here, but completing the field will be the 71 of Martin Landry on the rear of the field here. A couple of drivers that registered here tonight had some practice and qualified, but must be having some issues with their service or something's on the go, because we have now lost 6 or 7 cars throughout the field here in the heat race qualifiers.
Well, that, and it is football night in America, too, so I don't know how Canadians feel about American football, but the Bills are playing the Chiefs, and it's a pretty tight game. Had it up here in the production trailer, but it started to screw up the connection just a little bit, but a great jump there for the 019 of Pollard. Gets clear of Rustin in the number 2 car. They are bumper to bumper. The 2 car looking up high, trying to see if he can make that high line work and get some momentum around the 019.
You know, we've seen a lot of short tracks in the iRacing pandemic over the last year, and this South Boston track is one exciting track. And we're seeing it here in the early parts of this heat race. We're seeing some outside runs as well. We have the 01 of Troy Burke, and now heading down pit road off the pace, but we have a caution as well as, look, the 72, Todd Tufts heading down there. But that's going to bring in our friends from Raise Energy to give us a little Back to the Future viewage.
Yeah, taking a look now, Troy Burke and Todd Tufts running side by side. You can see Tufts up high, the 01 of Burke down low, and we're looking. It looks like the 01 tried to get up high. The 72 was there, collected him and the 71, the 071 of Martin Landry. There you see him with some big damage in the right front of that car. So those 3 drivers down on pit road. That leaves 4 drivers up front. So it's going to be tough for those 4 drivers getting caught up in a little bit of a situation there, but we'll see what happens in the final 2/3 of this race.
And if I was in the top 4 right now, I try to keep it as clean as possible, as there's mega damage on those bottom 3 cars. Martin Landry, Troy Burke, Todd Tufts, but Burke and Tufts are now down a couple of laps here, so they will not be a factor. Martin Landry decided to stay on the lead lap, and try to give it a go here. He will be on the outside looking in on the 93 of Justin Robichaud. And now it looks like Martin Landry is heading down pit road. He's going to try to race the pace truck as they come around here. Probably get a little bit of damage repaired, and try not to stay on the lead lap here as the pace truck comes around.
Absolutely, and you said the name of the game there, Mikey. Trying to keep these cars clean. Sometimes a tall order at these short tracks, but everybody up front looking pretty good so far, so that's good news, and really just need to hold on to those top 4 positions to try and move themselves into the big show here tonight and get qualified up for tomorrow's show.
Almost a little bit of Days of Thunder chasing down the pace car. Pace truck is coming. Martin Landry does get out in front of him. He'll come to the rear of the field. It will be a 5-car battle. We're taking 4. But look at that. Martin Landry hot on the throttle trying to come around as we get a clean shot from Jordan Rushton. The 2 machine gets out. Well, actually, no, my fault. Jonathan Pollard is the leader of the 2 sliding in. But look at the 27 of Corey Reed coming on strong in that P3.
Top 4 cars in the line up front, and the 071, there you see him in 5th place. Lots of damage on that race car, and 01 and 72, Todd Tufts, Troy Burke still down on pit road getting service done to those machines. So their night may very well be heading on over to the last chance qualifier race. These top 4 drivers really just need to stay in line, log off a couple of laps. 4 laps to go here at South Boston.
Top 4 making it into the big 100 main event here on Sunday night. Jonathan Pollard still in control, but a little battle between Jordan Rushton and Corey Reed as they go at it there for the position number 2. They need to make sure to keep it clean here because Martin Landry is looking for a mistake here as he is about a quarter of a track behind here and running some clean ear laps to the tail. 2 to go here, Paul, as they get close to White Silk's going to be coming out for the 19 as he comes down through the front stretch here. White Silk.
And those 4 drivers just training around the racetrack. Jonathan Pollard with a commanding lead, almost a second over that number 2 machine. He's going to cross the stripe here. No problems, and that's good news for the 019 making his way into the show tonight, along with Jordan Rushton, Corey Reed, and Jonathan Robichaud. Martin Landry, Troy Burke, Todd Tufts, Conrad Murphy, and Colin Matthews not in the top 4. So looks like we got one more. Nope, we got the last chance qualifying race here coming up. I believe we're going to be taking 4 from this as well. And we did get a little bit of an update from Brett Suggs, who's chiming in into the Facebook chat. There are some drivers that did show up here tonight, but they are already qualified for tomorrow night's race. So Tim Terry said, park the car. You guys have enough experience, and you guys come out and race tomorrow night for the big show, the mid-season classic, and that's going to be right here on Vidane TV. Same start time, 8:30 Atlantic, 7:30 Eastern. And yours truly and Mikey, you're going to be in the booth with me tomorrow night as well, are we not?
Twist my arm, I'm sure I will be, but 25 laps are going to be posted on the board here at South Boston for some last chance romance, aka hooligan, LCQ, whatever you want to call it. Royal Rumble was what we're going to see here, as this is the last chance for these drivers to make it to the big show. And usually the gloves come off in this race, one of my favorites. Sitting on the pole on this one is going to be the 18 of Chris Walsh. He'll have the 71 of Martin Landry with a brand new race car after that last upset in the last heat race. So hopefully he's got something for us for the final one here. This is the last.
Couple of red cars up front. Walsh and Landry. Timothy Green in the 802. Checked out the 19. And Healy and Tufts rounding out. So 5 drivers in this field. A couple of drivers already making it into tomorrow night's show, already qualified in because they have over 25 starts. And sounds like Tim's at the door.
Yeah, the Mummers are here because of a couple of extra drivers that connected and aren't here. We have the obviously the split numbers 15, so we have 16 eligible drivers or 16 eligible server slots for this race. 2 consies, 5 cars each. Free laps, free exposure for them on Vidane TV here. Green flag is out, and yeah, they're all in the show. They're just racing for where they're going to start in the big show.
And you heard it from the boss man, Tim Terry, as everybody's going to make the show, or these guys are going to spin some laps here to get a few extra peeks at the South Boston here. Yeah, we're looking at the 18 right now. Chris Walsh with a commanding lead over Timothy Green in the 802, but we got action with the 72, Todd Tufts. We're still under green, but they may have to throw it here as he tries to wheel that car around, and they will continue green. Everybody going to make the show. Tufts going to make it up here as our leaders, Chris Walsh, going to put him down a lap.
Coming right up behind him on the back bumper. Doesn't look like he's in too much of a hurry to try and get around Tufts. Going to let him hold on to the tail end of the lead lap, but there you can see the 18 machine holding off the 19 machine, the NOS Energy Drink ride of Timothy Green, and he's just kind of trying to see where the 18's stronger, seeing if he can get around him, maybe on the low side, the high side, one way or the other. But a good little way to get these drivers some lap time, some green flag practice. Everybody making the show, as Tim Terry said. So we're just going around and basically doing a little bit of live qualifying to find out where these drivers are going to start in the 100-lapper.
You know what? If everybody's going to make the call, maybe we should tell the drivers to have a little smashed potatoes for the final 20 laps.
Always entertaining, and I do hear that there's another smashed potatoes race out there on the docket somewhere. Just waiting for everything to get confirmed up with Tim Terry. Don't know any details just yet, but I know it's definitely something that's very, very popular on Vidane TV and with Tim's Corner Motorsports with all the drivers and the fans. So keep an eye out on the Facebook and all the social media outlets because that's coming soon.
Yeah, those tuning in that have not seen a smashed potatoes, it's basically a wild enduro. So tune in for the next one because a lot of fun, a lot of upside down cars.
Upside down cars and cars pointed in the wrong direction, and everybody seems to be pointing it in the right direction here. Chris Walsh leading lap number 9, coming to lap number 10. Timothy Green in that second position. Landry, Healy, and Tufts rounding out the top 5 here in the very first consi.
It may have been Landry, Healy, and Tufts that were involved with that incident there a while back because they are far back. Landry 6 seconds off our leader right now, so they may have gotten caught up in the little tussle there with Todd Tufts. But they continue to keep it green here. 11 laps completed as our leader, Chris Walsh. Lots of clean air up front and sort of like a Sunday drive here for the LCQ. Not something that we're used to seeing on the last chance qualifier. Well, I guess you can't call it a last chance qualifier because everybody makes the show.
Well, they're technically still qualifying, but still pretty cool to give these drivers the opportunity to kind of run around the track just a bit and get a little bit of practice with some other drivers on track. So that's good news there. Still, Landry, check that Walsh out front, number 18. He's got about a half a second, few car lengths over Timothy Green. Seems to be closing the gap just a little bit. You can see a little bit of right front damage on that number 19 Nos ride, but doesn't seem to be slowing him down too much. As you can see, he's holding it right down on that yellow line, trying to see if he can get around, get a little bit more grip, and try and close the gap between he and the 18 of Chris Walsh.
That's something for the viewers and even myself. The grip that we throw down in the heat race qualifier, does that stay in the sim for the main event?
It's that is something that it goes on a race-by-race basis. I do believe the server is set up to do that tonight, so you'll see the rubber buildup down on the apron and up in the wall, or up near the wall, rather. You'll see that continues on throughout each of these sessions. Sometimes league officials and race officials will set that to get that cleaned up between sessions, but it's pretty much up to the league discretion.
Well, there you go. Tidbits. As Chris Walsh, the 18, gets around one of the lap cars, he's coming up on Todd Tufts, or no, the 84 of Noah Healy. He's having some issues, a lot of damage on the right side front of the 84, but he'll get a new race car for the main event, so we'll look forward to seeing what he has for us. So a little Bandolero driver from Newfoundland Labrador, quick runner here at Eastbound, so see what he's got for us. But it's all the 18 machine, the Fury machine. Chris Walsh commanding the lead, but a little bit of pressure from Timothy Green as takes a peek to the inside on him.
Yeah, you can see he's starting to, he's still got about the same gap from second on back to first. Doesn't seem like he's closed up too much more. He's just trying to wait for the 18 to make a mistake. We did see Chris Walsh get up into the wall a few laps ago, just kind of scuff the paint just a wee bit, but doesn't seem like it scrubbed any speed off, so that's good news there. But it's the 19 in the second position trying to hunt down Chris Walsh with 5 laps to go.
We've seen in the heat race number 1, Tony Stevens with that recovery off the spank in the wall there. So we may see a bit of carnage tonight with the concrete wall. It seems like some of the drivers are coming up a little bit too hot.
Yeah, tight racing quarters here at South Boston Speedway. Little bit of almost a 1.5 groove racetrack. Some drivers are a little bit lower than others. You can see Chris Walsh right up onto that outside wall, scuffing the paint just a little bit. Might have slowed him up just a little bit. Because there you can see Timothy Green pulling in within 0.3 of a second. He may get to his back bumper here, Mike. Does he have enough time to get around him?
With 2 to go here as they come around, they're going to be collecting the white silk in just a moment. It's all the 18 of Chris Walsh. He'll have 4 more corners to come. Looks like he'll have a commanding, but he will be coming up on a lap traffic. Looks like Timothy Green threw it into a little bit extra coming out of 1 and 2. Will he throw it in 3 and 4? He does get within a half car, but it's still going to be 18 as Chris Walsh grabs those checkers here in our LCQ. All drivers going to make it to the main event here. 100 laps are going to be posted up here just in a moment, but your race winner, Chris Walsh, the Fury Machine, in the 18, followed by Timothy Green, Martin Landry, Todd Tufts, and Brian Healy.
Gets us all sorts of set up for last chance qualifier race number 2. And again, everybody makes the show here tonight. This is pretty much wherever you finish here is where you're essentially going to line up towards the back in the big show, the 100-lapper here tonight at South Boston. There you can see 73, Dave Horton out front, Terry Duguay in number 14, starting P2.
Yeah, another LCQ on the board, but a lot of drivers still not making this one here. We got Troy Burke and Nick Pache making the. Nick did not make it to the heat race, so now he's arrived in the 54. Scott Drouse has arrived in the 45. So still quite a few drivers. Ryan Messer, Ryan Twinham, Conrad Murphy, and Ashton Tucker not making the call, as I believe they are qualified for tomorrow night. So they're allowing the rest of the field to have a chance to get in it without any of these guys getting in the way. So it'll be Dave Horton, like you said, on the pole here with Terry Duguay to the outside, Troy Burke, Scott Drouse on row number 2, and Nick Pache to the rear.
Everybody lined up 2 by 2, and the lights are off. The iRacing pace trucks. Want to give a shout to everybody over on the Facebook and the YouTube chat. Brett Suggs chiming in, Ricky Arbo, Kenny McKenzie Jr. Pretty cool to see some of the drivers and fans kind of talking amongst themselves about the goings-on here this evening, and it looks like we got the YouTube stream all squared away here. Started out kind of rough here tonight, but it looks like that's all been taken care of. I think it's some issues on YouTube's end, but just really want to give a quick shout out to everybody on the social media. We've got over 1,700 followers on Facebook, and we just surpassed 400 subscribers on YouTube for Vidane TV. Cannot thank you guys enough, but we still got work to do, and so do these drivers. Green flag in the air. 73 gets the whole shot. He's got the jump on the number 14 of Terry Duguay. Got about 2 car lengths. Duguay is going to try that high side. Haven't seen that at all here tonight. All the way up by that wall. So we're going to see how that works out. There you can see the 45 and the 01 side by side. The 11 right behind him as well. Mikey, we got ourselves a race.
Yeah, these guys are battling it out pretty good. The 01 of Troy Burke got the bottom here, but the 45 hanging out to dry to the outside, not giving up. The 11 does decide to drop to or go to the top here. And you may see a 3-wide situation here as the 45 comes on strong here. This is a wild LCQ. This is something we were looking forward to earlier on, but all drivers knowing they make the show. So probably a few of them are going to take a few extra risks in this race to test out the waters here. But it's the Mopar No Car now sliding back to that third spot now as the 45 gets around him. So was the leader, now has found himself all the way back to 4th. What a mix-up here as Terry Duguay is your commanding leader.
Nick Pache there in the number 11 car, making that high line work, making it look easy. Gets around Dave Horton in the 73 with not too much of a battle. Sets his sight in on the 45 car, who's moved himself into the second position. Scott Drost, he is under attack now from the number 11 of Nick Pache. Terry Duguay still out front in that number 14.
Unbelievable. Troy Burke from first to last here, but is not giving up here as they continue to hunt here. We said the 54 was Nick Pache, but he is in the 11 machine, so just a bit of an error on our timing system here. I apologize for that earlier on, but Terry Duguay in the 14 who tried to make it work on the outside, made it stick, but look at this. The 11 testing a half car right now on Scott Drouse, looking to poke his nose here. They will go 2 wide into turn 1 as they battle it out for position number 2.
Seems like Pache is just a little bit faster, but he can't quite get that line. The 45 of Scott Drost has that preferred line. He's about a lane and a half up off of that yellow line. And the 11 on your screen there, Pache trying to make that bottom side work. There you see him getting in the bumper just a little bit, get him just out of shape enough to get up alongside him, door to door, heading into 3. He's going to come out of 4 with that second position, possibly goes down below the yellow line, side by side at the stripe. Give it to the 45, heading into turn number 1.
And classic short track move by the 11 of Nick Pache, just a nice gesture to the back bumper just to get him up to the high side there and open the door to the bottom, and he made it stick. But the 45 of Scott Drouse not giving up here as they go door to door, side by side for several laps now as they battle for position number 2. That is the action on the track. And look at that, the Mopar No Car now entering the picture, getting a full window of this battle between Pache and Drouse Pache will now clear, but look at this, the 73 machine of Dave Horton on the hunt.
Always love the blue and white Mopar paint schemes. I don't know, for some reason, that logo and those colors clash very, very well. But Dave Horton holding on to the 4th position, has a great front seat for this lead battle. Now a triple threat match up front. You can see Nick Pache doing the same thing he was doing before, way down on that yellow line, trying to get around. He's up to the door of Terry Duguay. Does he have enough time? He's got about 10 laps to see if he can get around him. 3-way dance for that first position.
Now, if I was Scott Trouse, I would get to the back bumper of Nick Pache because Terry Duguay is not in that position that is well sought out. Everybody looking for the bottom, but looks like the 14 will clear, but he does seem to be testing that high line here. Maybe taking this opportunity in the LCQ to see if there's any speed up there. We seen earlier in lap 1 or 2, he made the outside work and took the lead away from Dave Horton. But you see him all the way up there. So, sometimes being up to that high side can get you in trouble with the marbles.
And it seems like he's trying to make it work. He's still able to hold off the 73 of Dave Horton, but you can see he's sliding back a bit from the 45 machine of Scott Droust. Nick Pache checked out there in the 54 car, checked out the 11 car. He got that lead, and he's holding on to it, and he's extending it now. Crossing the stripe, we'll see how far it is. 983, so almost a full second lead over Scott Droust.
Well, Pache now has a comfortable command to this race for position in the main event. They will be starting closer to the rear as this is the LCQ. Our heat race qualifiers and our time trial qualifiers will be closer to the front. But every position will count as we stack them up for the big main event here. But the 14 kind of looking like he's having a science experiment out there trying to get the outside to work, but it's not working right now as the 73 does have a bit of an advantage. Dave Horton will come through, and look at this, the 01 of Troy Burke might put Terry Duguay all the way to the back. We've seen a couple cars go from the front to the tail several times throughout this LCQ.
Flagman gave him the high five last time by. 4 laps to go now, and you can see Dave Horton getting a little bit further away from Terry Duguay there in the number 14. He's clicking off his spots, and Terry Duguay, I think you may have hit it right on the head there, Mike. He might have just kind of called this a rolling test session, as he's trying the high line just a little bit, seeing how hard he can press the issue and seeing how hard he can press that race car, because after these 3 laps, he resets, gets a brand new car, and shows up to the 100-lap feature. So everybody making it into the show here tonight, don't have to worry about transfer spots or anything like that. And back up front, still Nick Pache, all the way up to a 2.5-second lead over Scott Drost in the 45.
For those at home that have not been in a simulator, I can tell you it is a wild experience. These drivers are some of the best that I've ever seen. And White Silk is out for Nick Pache as he does the cross finish line. He will take checkers home and position for the main event. It's going to be Scott Drouse in P2, Dave Horton, Terry Duguay in 4th, and Troy Burke, your 5th driver. They will all make the show, and a little warm-up here, Paul, so everybody can take a breather. Grab yourself a beverage. We're going to get set for a wild show here at South Boston Speedway here in Halifax, Virginia. I always thought this place was in Boston, but I got served correct tonight from yourself.
Yeah, we're down here in Virginia for the mid-season Classic Qualifier 100, and give these drivers a couple opportunities to just make sure everything checks out with their steering equipment, computer equipment, all that good stuff. About 90 seconds of warm-up before we get everybody lined up for the grid.
Now, I missed the driver's meeting. Is this open or fixed?
Yes, it is. I believe it's fixed setup.
Yes, to both. I wonder who set it up, Tim. So we're counting down the time here. 1 minute to go here in warm-up. Craig McDonald, we did not get to see him earlier on. Brad Eddy is another driver we haven't seen tonight, but they qualified in the time trials. Craig McDonald, fastest car on the track right now. Brad Eddy in P2. So a couple of drivers we did not get to see. Just going through the list here, Paul. The top 5 was off the screen earlier on. Ricky Arbeau is here. So I believe he qualified in the top 5 as well.
Yeah, we're just waiting for these drivers to wrap up, and we'll get the timing and scoring reset and get everything up and rolling here for the Mid-Season Classic Qualifier 100. Getting ready to qualify in for tomorrow night's Mid-Season Classic. It's a race of the Titans, I guess you will. And if you have over 25 starts in the Tim's Corner Motorsports Special Events, you are qualified into tomorrow night's race, on top of whomever wins here tonight's race, which is everybody else that has less than 25 starts. So, pretty cool little deal, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, these TCM special events are wild. You know, this is a 3-day run here. Last night we were in Nashville with the street stocks, a little quarter-mile short track racing. Ryan Messer, Ashton Tucker putting on the show. We'll see who puts on a show here tonight. Few drivers we did not get to see last night. Craig McDonald, Brad Eddy, as well as Eldon Campbell. So that Ricky Arbeau I haven't seen in a while. So this is going to be a wild one as we get set. 100 laps are put on the board. And look at that, our pole setter, the 98, Craig McDonald, will get it going here. He'll have the shotgun here tonight. On the outside of row number 1, the 17 of Eldon Campbell. He'll have a beautiful ride to the outside next to that 98.
On the inside, the number 97 there of Riley Duncan. Outside of him, the number 72 of Brad Eddy.
And completing your top 5 from time trials at 22, Ricky Arbeau, who did not have to go through races. He'll have a race winner number 1 from heat race the 33 of Brett Suggs.
Jumping behind them, Craig Kenny in the number 90 car. He's going to be starting in 7th. Jonathan Pollard, the 019. He's going to be starting P8.
And completing our top 10, the 57 of Corey Hallett. He'll have Pit Road TV's Tony Stevens to the outside.
Row behind them, a whole bunch of 2s. The number 2, Jordan Rushton on the inside. The 122 of Brody Lewis on the outside.
And row number 7, the 641 of Kenny McKenzie. He'll have the 27 machine of Grand Falls, Newfoundland, Labrador, Corey Reed.
Starting 15th, the number 16 car, Quentin Carpenter, and outside of him, Chantel Pottle racing her way in at number 5.
And the rest of the field, 93, Justin Robichaud. Chris Walsh is there. Nick Pache not making the call just yet. Timothy Green, Scott Drouse, Martin Landry, Dave Horton, Todd Tufts, Terry Duguay, Noah Healy, and Troy Burke as we get set to go up here, Paul. 100 laps on the board here at Sobo. I'm pretty excited. This is one of the NASCAR home tracks in part of our territory, Eastbound International Speedway, part of the Advanced Auto Parts Series. They run that as well. They did not run in 2020, so it'll be interesting to see what they have on the schedule for 2021.
Absolutely, and there you can see the whole shot. Great big jump there for the number 98 of Craig McDonald. He's already got about 5 car lengths heading into turn number 1. Riley Duncan moves himself into the 2nd position. Then it's a hornet's nest for 3rd place. There you can see the 11, check that, 17, Eldon Campbell, Ricky Arbeau, Brad Eddy, all battling for that top 5 position.
Suggs to the bottom here with the 72 to the outside.
What in the world?
This is calamity. Is that Todd Tufts?
That was Todd Tufts. We'll back that up. We'll back up the replay and we'll show it to you exactly how it happened, I guess. And there you see, just kind of caught us a little bit off guard looking at it live. But here we can see Todd Tufts in the 72. The race starts here. He's on the outside. So it looks like he's already got some damage there on the front of that car. Gets turned almost by the 84. Gets down low. He gets caught up on the apron. Tries to get this thing spun around. And just kind of drives right up into the leader. So that would probably explain why he's no longer in the server, no longer in this race. But still up front, the leader, 98. Craig McDonald with a whole bunch of left side damage and right side damage. Looks like he got tagged on both sides of that race car.
Could be a game changer, but the Robbie's towing. Craig McDonald is your leader, but a few cars on the in the live timing, different numbers on the car, so a little bit of confusion here at the beginning here. I'll call them numbers that I'm seeing on my screen, but not actual numbers on the car. So we do apologize if we throw the wrong number out there for you, but we'll get it straight here in the next couple of laps.
We'll try our best anyway, but taking a look, Craig McDonald up front, Riley Duncan second. It's Sunday. We got to go back to work tomorrow, so we're just trying to have some fun here tonight.
That's right. Eldon Campbell is on pit road, so he may the brunt from that caution as he is still on pit road here now. Hopefully he can get back in time. He was our P2 qualifier in the time trial, so unfortunately for the 17 machine of Eldon Campbell, he will make it back in time. He's trying to catch up here to the rear of the field, but looks like he had a 16.8 second stop, so probably some repairs to the 17.
Yeah, a couple of cars involved in that little bit of mayhem there early on, but up front, Craig McDonald right behind the pace truck. Lights are still on, so we got a couple more laps to kind of gather the thoughts back up and see where we're going to end up on the very first restart here in the Qualifier 100. Lights are off, going to start lining them up 2 by 2.
And we burned off 7 laps here as Craig McDonald will have a new partner in crime to the outside. That's the 97 of Riley Duncan. Ricky Arbeau moves up to P3. Brett Suggs to the outside. Brad Eddy, who was in 3rd position earlier on, will be in the 5th spot on the inside of row number 3. So this is one of my favorite on the restarts. Everybody vying for the bottom here. So we get a clean start. Here's the 98. Shoots out of the cannon. And look at this, Brett Suggs to the outside, trying to tuck in. He'll battle on the outside with the 61 of...
Ricky Arbeau.
Okay. I got 22, but that's where we were talking about earlier on. So it is the 61 of Ricky Arbeau, but Brett Suggs still hanging out to dry out there. And look at the 72. Brad Eddy?
Yes, 72 of Brad Eddy, right there in front of the 033 or the 33 of Brett Suggs. So a lot of these drivers running custom paint schemes, custom numbers with the iRacing service. So they may very well be registered in the server with one number, and they'll have another number that they run, maybe in another league on the side of their cars. For those out there not familiar with the iRacing service, but that battle kind of backs itself off just a little bit. Taking a look around the field here, Mike, it looks like everybody's pretty much single file. We're going to log some laps here. Lap 11 on the board.
Well, it's a long line of freight train coming within striking distance, but all the way back, 25 drivers still on the field. Noah Healy to the tail, all the way to the back, but look at that. That's a long stretch of train.
Long stretch of cars led by that man, the number 98, Craig McDonald. A whole bunch of damage on that race car from an incident with Todd Tufts, and Riley Duncan behind him by 0.3 of a second. There in the 97, Brett Suggs, Racing and Marketing, Vidane TV, super late model. Great to see all those familiar logos on that race car. And there you can see Ricky Arbeau leading a train of a few cars. He's got Brad Eddy, Brett Suggs, and Jonathan Pollard lined up behind him, with Craig Kenny lined up there in the 90 as well.
Yeah, Brad Eddy won that battle with Brett Suggs, and he'll take over that 4th position. We're at a peak here now on the 90 of Craig Kenny as he sneaks up on Jonathan Pollard. But we got the 19 off the pace. Jonathan Pollard almost into the barrels. That's going to draw a caution here on lap 16. We almost had a full view of that, Paul. But we'll bring in our friends from Raise Energy to have a sneak peek at what just transpired. Well, looked like it happened in front. Chantel Pottle and the 01 of Troy Burke were involved. The 19 coming up on that incident decided to take it to the infield. Now bringing it back once again, we're having a peek at the 5 of Chantel Pottle, as it looks like she just given the boot to the rear corner. A bit of a faster machine, the 5, but that sent Troy Burke into the infield, and then like I said, we've seen one of our top contenders, Jonathan Pollard, who was in 6th at the time, all the way into the infield, almost hitting the barrels.
Yeah, it's a tough break there, and you can see Chantel Pottle taking the penalty, moving her back to the end of the longest line. And it looks like the 19 tried to check up there and just got a little bit of the boot there from the driver behind him. A couple of drivers trying to occupy the same space, and the way physics works, well, that just doesn't work.
Now, we've seen some things in this race. Ricky Arbeau checked in with pit road just then. I'm not sure if he picked up a couple tires or fuel or what, but I would think that we have enough fuel to make the distance here, but Ricky Arbeau has forgiven that top 5 position. I believe he was in 3rd, and now all the way back to position number 22. Ricky Arbeau taking a 14.9 second pit stop. Game changer.
Absolutely. Might have been involved that little bit of an incident there earlier on, trying to get some damage worked on. Doesn't seem like the damage has affected the number 98 too much. Still out front, Craig McDonald, and you can see almost all 4 sides of that race car are caved in.
We are 1/5 of the way. 20 laps completed. A couple under caution here to burn the time away, but still plenty of action to go as we get set to get things going. They're going to put them side by side once again. It's going to be the 97 of Riley Duncan, going to be to the outside of Craig McDonald. Suggs and Eddie will be in row number 2. Jonathan Pollard maintained his position on this, I believe. He has, Jonathan Pollard. I believe that is Chantel Pottle raised the hand. I know there is a rule here at TCM for those that want to take claim of the caution, which put Jonathan Pollard back into position number 5.
Green flag is out, and there you can see Craig McDonald with another fantastic restart. Not a huge gap like he's been getting, but he gets at least a car length over the number 72 of Brad Eddy. Riley Duncan sliding on back to the 3rd position. He's stuck on that outside, and it's not working for him. Brett Suggs inside at the door. Gets up into the wall just a little bit, and Brett Suggs is going to get that position, it looks like. Caution.
Riley Duncan starting on the outside is a difficult position if you have a strong inside, and it was Brad Eddy, and we got to 5. Huge damage. Oh, baby. She was on our side. We're going to bring out another caution here for Ray's End. She looked like a 720 there, but we'll let you take us back here in time. Thanks to our friends from Ray's Energy.
Yeah, almost looking like a skateboard trick. Taking a peek here at Chantel Pottle in the 5, avoiding a wreck, it looks like. And there you can see she gets slowed up. The 16 and the 45 are involved, or the 18, rather. The 18 is just kind of a...
kind of took her out.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird slow motion. Not entirely sure what the deal was with that wreck, but hey, you saw it here live on Vidane TV. We'll take a look at the incident with the 18 car. You can see the 18 and the 45 were pointing in the right direction. The 45 loses it. The 122 gets into him, slows him down. The 122 gives him a shot, shoots him on up into the 18, and they park on the outside. And well, there you can see the 18 kind of come down, the 5 comes up, and they try to occupy the same spot, and there was a slow, lazy kind of pirouette there from the number 5.
10 points.
Definitely up there with the style points.
Style points for sure. Full marks. We are quarter of the way here now. Burned off a lot of laps here under yellow here. As you see, a bit of damage on the 98, but still maintaining composure on the front line. We're going to see a bit of a flip here now as Brad Eddy in the 72 machine will be on the outside. We've seen earlier on Riley Duncan was on the outside of row number 1. He will start on the outside of row number 2. Advantage will go to the 33 of Brett Suggs on this restart. We've seen the timing of the restarts, and it seems like the boys have seen a couple pictures now of the 98. So we'll see what transpires on this restart. Will the 72 manage to control this one and get to the back bumper? But you're seeing a lot of damage on that driver's side of that 98. So a bit of cosmetics doesn't look like a big factor at this point just yet. But you never know. You might get some body scrub on those tires and may upset the balance of power here in the TCM. Big qualifier here for tomorrow night. 28 laps completed, Paul. This is a bit of a wild one, bit rough, but it's a bit of fun here on Sunday night.
Absolutely. Lights are off, and everybody's lined up 2 by 2. Taking a quick look at the score. Halftime, Kansas City Chiefs had 21, Buffalo Bills 12. So Bills have a little bit of work to do in the second half to try and make themselves into the Super Bowl. I don't usually follow football, but the Bills fans are absolutely insane, and I want to hang out with some of them. Greg McDonald with the whole shot, and again, not as quick of a restart as he got last time by, but there you can see Brad Eddy under attack now from the 33 of Brett Suggs, who gets down on the inside up to his door. Riley Duncan has a good viewing spot in front of that, but then it's side by side behind them for 5th. The 019 to Jonathan Pollard, and the 90 of Craig Kenny, who scrapes the wall just a bit.
Yeah, few big battles, but that brew is cooking right now as Suggs tries to get around Eddie. We're looking at the 19 and 90, but look at that. It's, I believe, the 2 of Jordan Rushton now entering the picture, and that's going to put down the 90 as he tags the wall and gets all out of shape. And here comes the 2 and the 92 of Tony Stevens, gives him the boot down pit road. Stevens is the hot hand right now as he tries to come up through. This one is wild. There is body exchanging paint all over the place here as they get a little friendly now. The 72, Brad Eddy, follow all the way to the back as Jonathan Pollard gets on the hammer here, but they will call the caution here on lap number 33. Boy, oh boy, they hit everything but the pace truck.
I don't know if friendly's the right F word to use there, Mikey. That looked a little bit aggressive between the 019 and the 72. It looks like things have calmed down just a little bit. But we're going to try and pull up the instant replay, find out what brought out the caution here, and it actually looks like what in the world is going on here? Yeah, red flag on the racetrack.
Red flag. I think you would need to play 14 replays on this one.
Yeah, that was waiting on the pace truck. That's what it was. Pace truck driver must have been
just
in line.
Through Corey Reed.
Yeah, he must have been in line trying to get a popcorn or a hot dog or something like that. But we'll see if we can find what went down here in this last little bit of a mix-up. And I believe it's the 019 and the 72 car. If it's not, we're going to take a look at that anyway, because that was a pretty gnarly little incident there.
Oh, looks like Riley Duncan's involved.
Yeah, you can see Riley Duncan on the inside of the 72. He gets right up into the corner and just gives him a little bit of a tap. The 019 is there, and he gets into the 72. This is where we picked it up live, and you can see the 019 and the 72 just kind of door slamming each other quite a few times before the caution came out. So, and there's the wreck that happens behind them. Unrelated event. It looks like the 14 of Terry Duguay gets up into the 16, who was a little bit sideways, the 122, the 71, and the 027, involved just by the hair on his chinny chin, drives on by without any kind of big-time damage on that car.
Corey Reed getting unscathed on that one. I said he was from Grand Falls earlier. He'll probably beat me the next time he sees me, but he's from Bishop Falls. 3-time champion here in Newfoundland, so great to see him here qualifying for tomorrow night. So let's see what he has for us. But bit of a slice here. Craig McDonald will have a new partner on the front row. The 33 of Brett Suggs will move up to the top side. Riley Duncan will maintain that inside of row number 2. Craig Kenny, Jonathan Pollard moving up. But look at that. Tony Stevens from Pit Road TV on the is in position number 60 outside of row number 3.
Taking a look at the YouTube chat, it's always cool to have some of these drivers in the chat as they're watching and driving the race. And Kenny McKenzie Jr. chimes in, says sorry to anybody that got damaged from that. So reaching out his apologies for any issues that may have happened in that last wreck. And taking a look.
Isn't it illegal to text and drive?
I think so. Wasn't there was a kid that just did the ARCA test, and he recorded his ARCA test on Snapchat and wondered why he got fined.
Nice. Well, some more yellow flag laps here as we get to 4/10 of the way here. But it is all Craig McDonald to the front here. Led every lap so far, but had a bit of damage from the early longs of this race in the first couple laps. But as they get it going here, Craig McDonald shoots out the cannon and throws a huge block on Brett Suggs. Crossed over in front of him and lost a bit of momentum from the 33, but it is Brett Suggs now tucking into P2 as the battle continues to brew. Back there, Jonathan Pollard has got Tony Stevens coming on strong.
Single file pretty much for the top 5. Brett Suggs trying to peek on the outside of the 98 of Craig McDonald, but to no avail. Going to fall into his tire tracks for the time being. Riley Duncan there in third, and Craig Kenny back just a little ways. You made mention Tony Stevens moving his way up the field. Right behind that number 72 machine of Brad Eddy and Jonathan Pollard. He's trying to move his way on up towards the top 5 and see if he can come home with a pretty decent finish here. Maybe even try and qualify into the mid-season classic tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's making his debut here for this season, but Brad Eddy is a man on a mission. door slamming earlier on, a little bit upset. Has definitely got some thirst in his drive right now as he gets around Tony Stevens and takes up the top 6 here. But he is one to be watching as we take a peek at the 122 machine of, I believe that is Brody Lewis, and he's got Eldon Campbell. Eldon Campbell, we didn't talk a lot about the 17 machine. He was on second on the pole, went down pit road, probably a bit of damage from that earlier on caution, but that is a hard charger. He was to the rear of the field and now has found himself all the way up to the top 10 now, the 17 coming on strong.
Getting pretty intense here for the P2 position. Brett Suggs all over the back bumper of the Craig McDonald machine on the number 98, and we're going to take a look and see if we can ride on a board with that number 33 car. And you can see just really cranking on that steering wheel, right on that yellow line, trying to get any kind of ground that he can make up there on the 98, and it's pretty cool to see. Brett Suggs is one of the drivers that actually streams a lot on his own. You can check out his business Facebook page, Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing, LLC, and he streams all of his races live. I saw a thing up earlier today, Mike. He streams 5 nights a week. He's almost as busy as Vidane TV.
Well, you never know. He could be the next Hendricks driver. This could be a superstar in the making. I got to give it up for Brett Suggs. You know, very clean driver. A lot of these races, he is actually finishing with no incident points. And right now, he is playing chess right now with Craig McDonald, looking to put the 98 in checkmate, but he will show a lot of patience as we are halfway, 50 laps to go. I don't think you'll see Brett Suggs throw too much aggression here. He's going to put a lot of pressure to the back bumper, try to get the 98 to mess up here. But I pretty much guarantee you won't see that bumper from that 33.
No, very clean driver, Brett Suggs in the 33. In every league that he runs in there, you can see Chantel Pottle losing a lap there. That'll be the first driver 1 lap down, but Brett Suggs, very, very fast, very, very clean driver, and never really one to use the bumper of any kind like that. But you can see this might be what the doctor ordered for Brett Suggs, because you can look out front of the number 98 car, lots and lots and lots of heavy lap traffic, and that is definitely going to play a factor here in the battle for the lead. Already past halfway, lap 53, coming to lap 54 on the board. Gonna have about 45 laps to go here, Mikey, and heavy lap traffic coming on up.
Yeah, we're on board right now with Craig McDonald in the 98 as he comes up through now. Now, we've seen some drivers kind of be gentlemen or ladies and actually let the leaders come through, but you know what? They're still fighting to stay on the lead lap, so we'll see what transpires here as we look at the 14 of Terry Duguay. Now will be the next driver to go down a lap as Craig McDonald throws it in there. But looks like he will get the advantage to the bottom here. Brett Suggs will go to the top here. He'll tuck in now behind the 98, almost to the back bumper, almost like sticking like gum there. But Brett Suggs almost into Terry Duguay, almost got out of shape there and opened the door for Riley Duncan. We haven't talked about the 97 machine of Riley Duncan, but Duncan has been watching the battle brew between the P1 and P2, and he's got a perfect view of it all.
Absolutely, and just taking a look, here comes a side-by-side battle in front of the leader. These bad drivers battling for position as well as trying to battle to stay on the lead lap. And that right there is what you call tangling. Holy moly.
Hang on to it as they are navigating right now. Man, boy, I hope they got spotters here tonight because the 98 and Brett Suggs navigating wonderful right now. But we have a caution. The 19 machine is around. That's going to draw out the caution on lap number 60. That is the 19 of Jonathan Pollard, is it?
Nope, that's Timothy Green and the 802 in the scoring. But we're taking a look at the instant replay. And
another one.
Another one. Looks like, Riley Duncan, big damage from the third place position as he was trying to get around the lap machine of Timothy Green. Currently 2 laps down. That is a tough break for Riley Duncan. You can see lots of damage on the front of that race car. May very well be coming down pit road to work on that. That's, I don't know. You see there's some damage on the 98, so it's going to be, I don't know. It's a tough call.
I'd stay out. But look at this, man. Like, we seen some action earlier on, but we're seeing Ricky Arbeau come down pit road once again, as well as Eldon Campbell, who was in the 11th position. Now we're seeing quite a bit of activity on pit road. Dave Horton, Chris Walsh, Eldon Campbell, Ricky Arbeau, Brody Lewis, Timothy Green, all on pit road. So quite a few, almost half the field here tonight here at Sobo have made a registration to pit road. So our leaders have not been down, our top 8, so or top 7. Ricky Arbeau, Corey Reed now is down, so Quentin Carpenter, Chantel Pottle decides to check in. So some of those drivers like Eldon Campbell and Ricky Arbeau are not giving up too much position for that call to come down.
Yeah, a lot of damaged race cars here, and we're actually seeing a lot of these drivers taking 4 tires and repairing some damage, actually losing a lap as they sit on pit road. So there you can see the 19, the 18, I believe that's the 14 on your left side of your screen there of Terry Duguay, still sitting on pit road getting service of the machines, and you can see pretty much all the way around the racetrack, a couple of drivers still sitting on pit road. So it's going to be a tough break. We're going to end up restarting here, 9-10 cars on the lead lap.
What a beautiful facility Sobo is. You see that pit road going all the way around the front into the back. So Jonathan Pollard, Eldon Campbell back on pit road once again. Eldon Campbell's been chasing the pace car around. He went in for another quick stop. So that's 3 times he's been down pit road. And we'll see what he has for us, as I believe he still sits in the 9th position. But like we said, actually we've got about 3/5 of the field now have been on pit road. Our top 6 are the only ones not to make a pit stop. So green flags in the air, green, 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 and it's 98 of Craig McDonald takes up that lead. But look at that, Brett Suggs gets under the back bumper and almost upsets the balance of the 98 as they tandem around the corner here. But oh man, is that the 19 coming out of pit road? Almost got hairy there with the leaders, but they continue to go green here, the 98 and the 33 putting on a show here on lap number 66.
Mike, you could take about a 3-foot length of chain and put it between the 98 and the 33 cars, and it would not budge because those drivers are bumper to bumper. But it looks like under caution one more time, and we'll see if we can pull up the old Rays Energy Drink Instant Replay, find out what exactly went down there.
I need to put Sobo on my bucket list tracks to go visit, because if it's like this in real life, it's a lot of activity for fans.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It looks like the 84 car of the Healy machine pointed in the wrong direction. We'll back this up and give it to you live. And looks like a little bit of a solo spin here. And things happen. Stranger things have happened in iRacing, but we'll take a peek. Focusing in here on the number 84. Kind of gets a good entry. Doesn't quite get the exit that he needed. Loses the back end of that race car and kind of tags the inside wall. So almost right up into the leaders. Holy smokes. But able to keep it down, pointing in the right direction. Lots of damage from an earlier incident. So Healy going down 3 laps down now in the 19th spot.
Very unfortunate for the young gun, Noah Healy. A lot of damage to that 84, and it's just a lot of cars right now on the field right now. A bit of damage, but as we see, they're having some difficulty coming around with all that damage. So we look forward to seeing him back once again. But back to the front, it's the 98 of Craig McDonald. He's been the storyboard all night long. He has led all 70 laps. That is part of Robbie's towing. He's out front with Brett Suggs now starting on the outside. Now this is a chance to see if Riley Duncan has for himself. But one car that we were talking about earlier, Tony Stevens has checked in on pit road. So he's going to lose a couple positions as he's going to try to stay on the lead lap here. The top 11 are on the lead lap. The rest of the field is down a lap.
So that would give a lot of the drivers towards the back of the pack, and we see a couple of drivers came down that last caution, but that would give everybody an opportunity to kind of come down to pit road, maybe get some service on the tire, on the sheet metal, but these drivers saying, nah, we're going to stay out and hold on to the track position here, and you can see the top 7 drivers, as you said, haven't pitted.
You know what? I'm going to take a snap at this, but I got a funny feeling Eldon Campbell and Ricky Arbeau have for something for us here. Ricky Arbeau is in P6 right now and does have fresh tires compared to our leaders with about a quarter of the race left to go. I think the 20 or Ricky Arbeau in the I don't think he's in the 22 machine. What's the number on Ricky Arbeau?
Ricky Arbeau is going to be the 61 machine. There you see him on the outside.
61, there he is right there. 22 on the score sheet, but 61, keep an eye on that car. He does have fresh tires. The rest of the field in front of him have not reported. So this is a green situation. Craig McDonald gets off. Lots of side-by-side battles here as Arbeau and Brad Eddy go at it. Riley Duncan and the 90 of Craig Kenny go at it. Lots of door-to-door action as Suggs tries the outside right now, and there is a launch there from Brett Suggs to try to make the outside work on our leader Craig McDonald, but he decides to tuck it back in and turn a few more laps with our leader here, trying to put him into checkmate. But we have 3 wide coming out of the corner. Oh boy, hang on to it. Brad Eddy to the bottom, and it looks like Craig Kenny to the top, but 3 wide usually doesn't work out on these short tracks, Paul.
No, it's tough to see 3 wide on some of the bigger tracks, and really not going to work here at South Boston, where 3 cars they'll fit if you parked, but man, I don't think it's going to fit if you're trying to race, and that's exactly what we saw here. And we're going to take a look. The 019, the 61 there, Ricky Arbeau gets spun around, and the 16 car involved, 51 gets a shot, 93 gets a shot. So a couple of drivers getting some nose damage, putting the noses where they don't belong here, Mikey.
Well, there goes my driver. He's gone to scratch. We just talked about Ricky Arbeau having a nice run. Pit road was in striking distance, but now a lot of damage. Now sitting on pit road, he's going to be chasing that pace truck to try to stay out here as we count down a few more yellow flag laps. 77 gone with 23 to go here. Craig McDonald, what a story. Damage on the early parts of this race, lots of damage there, but has maintained a lead throughout this full race with none other than the 33 of Brett Suggs, who is like a viper. Has been applying lots of pressure to the back of the 98, and the 98 has held strong. So big props to the 98 of Craig McDonald, holding off that 33 hard charging Brett Suggs.
Just a little bit of damage there on the top 3 drivers. You see big time damage on the front nose of the 97 of Riley Duncan, but still able to hold on to it and still able to hold on to the top 5 positions. So it's going to get good here. We got 20 laps to go. Probably going to get to restart. About 18 laps to go.
Unless they're going to start them single file, I don't think this is the last caution we'll see here tonight. Cautions breed cautions, and it's been bred since lap number 1 here tonight at Sobo, here at the South Boston NASCAR home track. TCM night number 2, Sunday here with Tim's Corner. A bit of qualifier for the big event, for the mid-season big run here tomorrow night. I didn't get the memo. Where are we going to tomorrow?
We were still right here at South Boston.
Whoop. So we'll get 2 nights of action here at South Boston, and lots of activity throughout. But we are going to go back green flag. That's the 98 and the 33, continuing this battle as they come around 3 and 4. And the 98 squats it a little bit, almost loses a little bit of the back end here, but looks like the 33 and may try to tuck in behind him here. As Riley Duncan is a hard charger as well.
Side by side up front, Riley Duncan wants a piece of the lead, but he's getting under attack from that 4th place driver, the number 90 of Craig Kenny, and it's still side by side up front. The 33 of Brett Suggs into the wall just a little bit, and that doesn't seem to slow him down. It actually made it look like he's going a little bit quicker. Now he falls into the tire tracks of the number 98, but Riley Duncan moves back into the 3rd position, and it seems like still side by side. Brad Eddy in the 72 machine and the number 90 of Craig Kenny holding on. There you see Tony Stevens thundering on down the inside of the number 90 car.
A beautiful move by Tony Stevens, crossing over in front of Jonathan Pollard, seeing a hole open there and dropped to the bottom and picked up a spot. Now he's got Brad Eddy in his sights, and is one to be looking at. Tony Stevens in the 5th position with 16 to go here. Will Tony Stevens be a factor as we have a couple of different piles of drivers here? Stevens, Brad Eddy, Riley Duncan, and oh, this is going to be a change-up as Pollard goes hard into the wall. Oh, baby, it's another caution here on lap number 86, and lots of damage from one of our top contenders.
Yeah, we'll back that instant replay up, and we'll give it to you in real time, and that was a hard hit for the 019. Absolutely. And we're going to pull up the Raise Energy Drink instant replay, and be sure to shoot on over to repsports.com, use that promo code Vidane TV, and get yourself 15% off at checkout. But taking a look, battle between the 019 and the 90. You can see a little bit of door rubbing action there. The 19 kind of slides right up in front of the 90. 90 comes back down, crossover action. Waves at him with all 5 fingers, I'm sure, and comes down low, down on the, this is about a half a lap. We backed it up just a little bit. There you see the 019 up into the wall, comes back down in front of the 90, and that's what caused that. There you see the 16 driving by, getting a little bit of a piece of him, but big damage on the front of the 019 machine there for Jonathan Pollard.
Pollard kind of spanked the wall there just a little bit, but what a slide job and crossover move, but lots of activity. I'm glad you brought us back a half a lap of that, because that was brewing there for a little bit, but cars getting a little loose here in the late stages of this race. We talked about it earlier. You're saying that all drivers are under a fixed setup, so everybody's under the same setup here tonight. So it's not open. But we're seeing some of these cars with a bit of damage are falling off the ladder here. With this caution, it's probably going to bring us back to lap 90 with 10 to go here. Storyboard again, Craig McDonald, update, still the leader here, led 9/10 of the way here. Brett Suggs hard charging to the outside, trying to make the outside work, but Craig Kenny still a strong contender, making the inside stick for him and forcing Suggs to drop to the bottom behind him.
One more opportunity to give these drivers just a little bit of time to think about what they're going to do here for the final 10 laps. Brett Suggs trying to figure out how he's going to get around the number 98 of Craig McDonald. But don't count out the drivers behind them. All 4 of them. Well, really the entire field. Riley Duncan, Brad Eddy, Tony Stevens, Craig Kenny have been strong in the top 6 throughout the entire evening. So going to be one heck of a finish here with 10 laps to go.
Well, Stevens has reported to pit road and does have 4 fresh tires. He's on the inside of road. Keep an eye on the Pit Road TV, 92 of Tony Stevens. Will he be a contender with the 10 to go here as Craig McDonald shoots out of the cannon and Suggs straps himself to the back bumper as they go back at it again. This is going to be a wild one. Will Suggs put the 98 into checkmate position? Will he save it for the final lap? We'll see here as we count them down here at Sobo for the big TCM qualifier. What a wild night, Paul. This has been an amazing wild ride for our leader, the 98 of Craig McDonald.
All over the back bumper. Craig Suggs backs up just a little bit, trying to regather his thoughts. Right back down, hammer down, trying to get up to the bumper, trying to get up around the number 98 of Craig McDonald. Think he's got enough time to get there, but does he have enough time to get around him?
Well, everybody's on the edge of their seat. Craig McDonald fans trying to vie for a big win here tonight. Can he hang on? And looks like he's getting a bit of a distance right now. He's got about a quarter of a second that he's made up, but Suggs is a crafty one. And look at that. Caution has come out on lap 94. We've got cars around, and like we said earlier, cautions breed cautions, and this whole race has been peppered full of them.
Absolutely, and we're going to pull up the instant replay brought to you by Raise Energy Drink and find out exactly what went down to bring us out under caution with less than 10 laps to go, and not necessarily the best spot to be in under caution, and it looks like it may have included, nope, I call myself a liar there. Sifted through the tapes here trying to see who all is pointed in the wrong direction.
Well, I see Brad Eddy not in the picture right now, and Tony Stevens, Stevens is in 4th, so
yeah,
continue
Brad Eddy
on.
3rd. Just backing up through the field. I'm not seeing where that caution would be.
Let's see the bird's eye.
It is the bird's eye. We'll try the other bird.
That bird, yeah, that bird.
Sifting through.
Go to the blimp.
AC 92. I wonder if Tim Terry slipped up and hit the caution button. Wouldn't be the first time.
Maybe we can knock on his door.
Whoop, there it is. Calamity.
There we go.
Hey, we found it. For those with the benefit of flash photography,
it was the blimp.
It was the blimp. That was the blimp all along. So we'll pull this
16 machine.
16 machine, all sort of cattywampus here. Little side-by-side battle, and 16 kind of gets into the 73. They both head on down to the inside wall, and there you see a couple of cars getting a little bit of a bump there, and you can see the 16 was actually stuck on the pit road wall. So that's a tough break. A couple of drivers. Looks like those drivers were all at least a lap down. So still going to restart with 13 drivers on the lead lap. I don't know if anybody's going to have anything to get around this 98 machine.
Well, Steven's got fresh rubber. He will be starting to be Brett Suggs. If Suggs charges to the outside, you know Steven's going to go with him and give him a push. So this is going to be wild. You got fresh tires to the outside of row number 2. You got Brett Suggs looking for a run to the outside here. Green, white, checkered. Not a lot of time. Real estate is going to be precious here on this restart. They've all gotten a shot at seeing the 98 take it out of the hole, and he's going to take it out right away. And now Suggs drops to the bottom, but it is all Craig McDonald, our leader. But look at this, as the crossovers. Tony McDonald is going squirrely back there, trying to get around the 72. Lots of action throughout the track with White Silk coming out just in a moment for the 98 of Craig McDonald.
Yeah, that was Tony Stevens bouncing it off the wall, trying to get himself a little bit of... Whoa, a couple of cars pointed up on the outside. They were a lap down, no caution. Craig McDonald, the leader, up in the wall. Did he take the checkered flag? He did not. That is going to give the victory to Brett Suggs. You bet your bottom dollar we're going to get...
I get a replay on
We're
that.
getting a replay on that for sure. And we'll pull up the Raise Energy Drink replay, find out what went down with Craig McDonald. That's... Definitely.
Craig McDonald was yelling tabernacle.
He was yelling something for sure. And we'll pull up the replay, and we're gonna play it to you, and we're gonna take a look because we're about as confused as everybody else. Here you can see he came out of into the corner. Don't see the 33 being close enough. Aha!
Oh, where did the 2 come from?
Well, that's
Jordan Rushton destroys Craig McDonald's night.
Yeah, that's not too cool at all. That was absolutely intentional.
Brother.
Very quickly removed from the server. So we'll have to see if race official Tim Terry will be taking care of that. Well, we can bet he's going to be taking care of it for sure. But we can see Brett Suggs parked there on the start-finish line, just kind of waiting for the official word, and we're going to wait for the official word too. You got the unofficial results there on your screen. Brett Suggs, Brad Eddy, Tony Stevens, Riley Duncan, and Craig Kenny in the top 5. Corey Reed, Ricky Yarbo, Eldon Campbell, Jonathan Pollard, and Dave Horton rounding out the top 10.
What an upset to a wild night.
For sure. Craig McDonald leading almost all of the lap. I believe he led every single lap here tonight. And unfortunately got taken out by a driver who was multiple laps down. 34 laps down to be exact. So that's definitely a tough break there.
We talked about Brett Suggs not being the one that would throw that bumper. And obviously that's what transpired. But we got our good friend Tim Terry, the official, here tonight. Wow, what a conclusion here, Tim.
Oh, that was the conclusion. Jordan Rushton was suspended last year for doing stupid horse shit like that, and I can tell you that he will never be back in one of these races again.
I'm glad we see that eye to eye, because that was a nonsensical move, and definitely agree with that call.
So Craig McDonald will receive a provisional for tomorrow night's race. He will be in the show tomorrow night. He is clearly frustrated, and rightfully so. But the win is going to go to Brett Suggs. The finishing order is the way it is. Craig McDonald will be technically the 6th driver in tomorrow night. But yeah, Jordan Rushton is not welcome back at any of these things. And yeah,
I'm going to shut my mouth before I say anything else. Mike, you have our winner, Brett Suggs.
Wow, what a night, Brett Suggs. You got a copy here, bud?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear, man.
Oh, man. I said right from the beginning, see the bumper from the 33 into the back of that 98. And when the caution came out, we did not have, or when the wreck happened, we didn't get a view of it. So I was kind of questioning my judgment, but obviously you were a gentleman throughout this whole race. What a run you had, bud. Really unfortunate for the 98 with that incident with the 2 car, but take us through tonight. You had a well-built machine, sharp looking out there, and take us through your night.
Yeah, it was a fun race. South Boston, I definitely don't run it all too often, but it's an underrated track. I had a lot of fun out there. Didn't quite hit it good in the qualifying and had to start in a heat race and try to transfer out of that, but just running clean. I mean, I preach that each and every race, in all the TCM races that running, just running clean and, earning this respect to drivers on track. And I would have been happy finishing second to Craig there. Him and I had a good race, a lot of side-by-side action. And, it's nice to be able to trust some of these drivers that you can race side-by-side with. And, they won't put you in a wall or slam you or anything like that. But for something like that to happen on the last lap, I didn't expect it at all. I was settled in there for second, but, that's just the way it worked out, and sometimes that happens, so we'll take it.
It looked like you were trying to get the outside line to work here tonight, but Craig McDonald with a bit of damage from the early parts of this race. The outside not working for you tonight?
No, I just didn't have the tires there late in the going. He was timing the restarts perfectly, and then I kind of started to see what he was doing there, so was able to, pull up side-by-side for a couple of those restart laps, and just not enough. I mean, we had a set of tires in the pits waiting for us, calling our name, just didn't get down there to take advantage of them. But top side, I think on fresh tires would have been pretty solid. We'll see how it's going to be tomorrow, but just not enough tonight.
Well, Brad, it's always a pleasure to call one of your races, and great to see you in the top 5 again. Tonight, taking a win, not the way that you would want it, but a big shout out to Craig McDonald for running a good race tonight. But Brett, anybody home you want to thank that brought you here tonight?
Absolutely. Shout out to everybody in the chat on Facebook at Brett Suggs Racing and Marketing LLC. They were going crazy for that finish, so a huge shout out to everybody tuning in, as well as you guys and Tim for putting on these races. Always a pleasure to be a part of, and of course the IRL sponsors. We got the Custom Matco coming back for this year, Brett Suggs Racing Marketing, Lake Norman Power Cleaning, and looking to add some more partners as well. So if anybody out there is interested, shoot me a message on Facebook. We'll get you set up.
No doubt, man. You're a gentleman and a scholar, and hopefully one day we'll see you live at a real racetrack. Best of luck, and we'll see you tomorrow night. It's been a pleasure to see you tonight, and congratulations from all of us from Vidane TV and TCM on your big win.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right. That's Brett Suggs, ladies and gentlemen. Paul, I believe you have another gentleman here.
Yep, right behind him, right next door to Pit Road, another top 5 all day long, Brad Eddy in the number 72 car. Man, great race, Brad. Saw you up front, top 5, top 6 all night long. Ended up in the second spot. Walk us through your race.
Yeah, thanks, man. I got shuffled back a couple times. I actually joined with 20 seconds left in qualifying to make a lap, and I got lucky, but I didn't have any practice, so no rhythm, so it was kind of hard. Shuffled back early on, tried to save a little bit and keep my wits about me, and got pretty fortunate there up at the end.
Yeah, crazy events happening towards the end of the race, but still had a strong car all day. A lot of damage, pretty much all 4 sides of that race car, but it didn't seem like it affected the handling or the speed too much, did it?
Not really. I felt like I was getting banged around like a pinball in a couple different ways, but I also gave the bumper to a couple guys tonight, so it is what it is. Just want to say it sucks for Craig. It seems like the lap cars are kind of attacking him tonight. It was a weird deal, but yeah, it was a fun race.
That's just short track racing, as they say. A lot of logos on that car. Who makes it happen for the number 72 machine of Brad Eddy?
Sure. So I just want to give a shout out to Dwayne McKay. I don't know if he's watching, but I run his pro stock in real life. So I don't think he watches too much of this stuff, but we might try to get him to tune into the recording. And we got TriWire on there, which is a real life sponsor, and the rest of them are pretty much just made up for fun. So just shout out to the CHR boys, and fun racing with everybody tonight, and good job by Race Control.
And congratulations on a second place finish, man. Go celebrate.
Yeah, thanks, man. I got the champagne here. See you later.
Absolutely. Mikey looks like he caught up. Third place driver, Mr. Where Did He Come From? Tony Stevens, the Pit Road TV machine.
Making your debut, Tony Stevens. We got to chat earlier on before the race started. You said you didn't have anything for us, but wow, what a run you had. Take us through tonight on pit road. I did notice you did sneak down pit road. Was that part of your strategy?
Yeah, we had to adjust that a couple of times. I thought maybe short pitting could be the way early, and with all the chaos, that wasn't going to happen and put the car in any sort of bad spot. So at that point, I had just said, you know what, we're going to stand this out and see what we can do and just kind of see what happens. But by that point, we realized there's like 3 other cars in the lead lap, and we know we're faster than they are, and there's going to be more chaos happening. Let's go ahead and get stickers and kind of wait it out, see what happens. And sure enough, stickers for the win. That thing was just digging to the front once we had stickers on it. And it was just a matter of point it and shoot. Everybody else was sliding around, and we weren't, at least not as badly anyway. It just ran out of laps in that case.
We're taking a peek at your car on the replay here. Very clean looking, obviously, from that pit road activity. You were in the top 10. We were watching. You kept sliding up there. A few nice crossover moves. With that late caution on lap number 95, did you think you had something for the front row?
I didn't think I had anything for him unless something happened. I had seen those guys pushing and shoving a little bit. I had seen Brad push and shove a little bit. We were all kind of stuck there in a mix earlier. My goal tonight was simply, once I realized this was a race that Tim had to qualify for tomorrow, was just qualify in, that there's nothing really to gain other than a little bit of glory of winning this thing. And I didn't think I had anything for the guys up front. Just wanted to kind of make laps and get more seat time. And sure enough, it's what we did. But I knew it was going to be crazy. And once that thing stuck on the outside, I thought we might have something, maybe. And then the driver choked as usual and hit the concrete. But that was fine because we found a hole and got down. Insanity. And so be it. So I'm quite happy with the top 5, 4th place, 3rd place, whatever you want to call it. It's a good day for the Pit Road TV gang. We're getting ready to get fired back up and go racing in Florida with Winter Nationals for Legend Cars on our Legends Nation station and network. And then the Friday and Saturday before that, we've got super late models, dirt cars. There are a bunch of guys talking about coming. Like there's been rumors of Bloomer coming, rumors of Jonathan Davenport coming, Turbo, a number of big names coming to the North Florida race with the Ironman late models, kind of the North, I forget what they're calling it, the Florida Frostbusters, what they're calling it. That's it. So we'll have that live on Pit Road TV, and hopefully everybody can check that out. It'll be 3 solid nights of racing from Florida, and they get a bunch of other stuff with their subscriptions, so including the Cars Tour and the Southeast Super Trucks that Brett Suggs runs, and a bunch of other stuff. So I encourage everybody to check it out. It's race season in the States, and we're hard to believe we're about a week away from making it happen.
Well, Speed Weeks is going to be around a week, about a month away here, so you're going to be pretty busy over the next 4 weeks. But I guess I don't have to ask who your sponsor is. Folks, if you're at home, check out Pit Road TV online. Lots of real racing coming down the pipe, and all the fans home are getting pretty excited to get back to trackside. Tony, anybody else you want to thank tonight?
I just got to thank Tim for saying, hey, you actually want to race tonight? We talked about it last night, and I said, you know what? Sure, why not? Let me get behind something and kind of get my brain back in there, because I hit my head, and I'm renting a Legend car next weekend for Winter Heat, which will also be on Legends Nation TV. And it's something I don't get to do very often. I said all the stars aligned. I had a few things that came about that we sold, put that money aside. So, you know what? Let's go play around a little bit. We get to do it once every 5 or 6 years, so we're going to go play around. So any seat time I can get, I'm good. So thanks to Tim for saying, hey, we've got a race. You can get some seat time. And for that matter, thanks to everybody else for giving some space and some room and letting this old has-been get out there and mix it up with them.
Well, clean run, beautiful run, 92. Congratulations from all of us up here in the booth. It was great to call for you, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.
Thank you very much. Look forward to maybe racing tomorrow night. I want to say hi to, I know my girlfriend Melinda's watching somewhere, so I want to say hi to her. She's recovering from some of the crud running around, so we'll say hi to her and hope she feels better.
Just so you know, Tony, I know you got a busy schedule, but Valentine's is coming up soon.
Yeah, that's Daytona 500 day. What are you talking about?
Oh, I know. Well, that's Tony Stevens, folks. What a wild ride. I thought he had something for us, but a lot of cautions there, and the time ran out for the 92. But it was Brett Suggs here tonight, but very unfortunate for the 98 of Craig McDonald. He'll be our at-home hero here tonight. But what a wild ride that 98 of Craig McDonald had. Hey, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, led almost all the laps except for the main, the money lap there. And actually looking over, it appears Tim Terry has grabbed himself a daiquiri and cooled off just a little bit. Let's go over some final thoughts here, Tim.
It cooled off as it can be. Besides the unfortunate incident on the last lap, great racing by those guys up in front. We've got top 6, top 7 all night long. We're solid. Great to see Ricky Arbo come back. Great to have Corey Reed had a great run near the end, top 10 run, knocking on the door of a top 5 run. So great to see all that. We'll have Craig in tomorrow. The good news, or I guess the breaking news on this is Brett Suggs wins the race. Brett Suggs gets into the showcase. We have a provisional for Oxford for the top driver not currently locked in the showcase to get in on points. So that is going to give us a battle on Wednesday between Chris Roma and Roger Down, who are 3 points apart from each other. So not only do we have a championship battle on Wednesday with Oxford, we have a battle for a showcase spot, which is going to come down to 3 points when we throw the green flag. So there's that to watch as well. So it's going to be exciting on Wednesday. Before we get there, though, we have tomorrow night's mid-season classic. So the 33 drivers that were already locked in, plus the 6 drivers now from this evening will have a shot at running. So we have a 39-car field. There's some drivers that haven't raced this year that are probably not going to show up. We got some drivers that have other commitments. So realistically, we're probably going to have around a 28 to a 30-ish car field tomorrow night, which is still going to be plenty for South Boston, as we saw this evening. Should be fun. Put on a show there. And with that field already set, it's set by the amount of starts that one driver has with the feature winners in behind. So the field is already set. It's going to be Dave Cassidy, Travis Roma, John Byron, Danny Vitch, and Todd Cousins leading us to green tomorrow night. So that should be fun. Exciting to see that. The RBR League is back. They put on a phenomenal race for race number 1 last Tuesday. They will be back on Tuesday evening. And then on Wednesday is the Highway 311 North River Market Championship finale for the TCM Weekly iRacing Series. We'll see if Ashton Tucker can wrap that up. Keith McClellan, Brett Suggs, Richard Drake, and John Fitzpatrick all within striking distance with all the heat race points and qualifying points and all that fun stuff in there. That will be a fight on Wednesday night. And then Neps is back. Showtime Cup, obviously, Wednesday night as well. Super Speedway Series is back on Saturday night. If you never had an opportunity to take a look at that broadcast last night, that was great. Brandon Campbell made his debut with Sim 500. That was good. And then the Neps is back the next week as well. So, Paul, I think I covered them all. Take us out of here. Take us home.
Yeah, you did all the hard work for me. I'm going to crack open a nice cold Busch Light and watch the rest of the Bills game to see if they can make it on into the Super Bowl. So it's not so much that I follow the Bills, but, man, their fans are wild, and I'd sure like to party with some of those guys. But that's going to do it here for Vidane TV. Thanks so much from everybody here. Again, thank you to everybody who tunes in every single show and checks us out on Facebook and YouTube and all the social media outlets. Celebrating 1,700 follows over there on Facebook and over 400 subscribers on YouTube. We still got a little bit of work to do. We want to see those numbers bump up, but we definitely appreciate everybody for everything that they do here for us. And once this broadcast is over, make sure you share it. Let your friends know you got entertained with some internet racing here on Vidane TV. But for Vidane TV, for Tim's Corner Motorsports, and everybody here involved at the track, we'll catch you on the flip side.